Alright, hello everybody. Welcome to March 2023's Hobby Gremlin Craft Report. I have made it through a quarter of the year doing my only New Year's resolution that actually matters. The other New Year's resolutions are like pasta adventure, where you try to eat different kinds of pasta, which I stole from the internet. It doesn't really matter. This is the one that matters, and I'm doing it, and I'm really proud of myself. So I don't have too many things to show and talk about for March, partly because I did one big project that I was focused on, but I also think it was a bit of a busy month in terms of like trying to catch up with physics and bullshit like that, but I have a lot of things that I'm really excited about for the next little while, so I think April's craft report is going to be a big exciting one. And Stanley is awake today. I think you should probably be able to see him. He is actually not sleeping for once. Hello. And if he sneezes on me, well, that's just the way I live in this house. My cat has a big chronic nose problem and he just sneezes on stuff. Alright, so last month I had started my yellow sweater. So I had gotten some Cascade 220 off of Facebook Marketplace, and I started this sweater. It's the Cove sweater, and I finished it, and it was my main sort of thing that I was focused on this month, and I'm really happy with it. I ended up doing, well, let me just put it on. Excuse me, Stanley. Excuse me, Stanley. I love it. I'm really happy with it. So I ended up doing an extra 20 stitches right here before the final sleeve decrease. The sweater pattern is the kind of sweater where the sleeves want to fall around here to begin with, which I don't like personally. I feel like I either want it to be like this, or I want to have it like cuffed up or pulled up here. I hate this. This bothers me so much. But beyond that, I also have like longer arms, I think. So I had to add a lot of length to that. But I'm really happy. It lands perfectly for me. The length of the body I kept pretty much exactly the same as the pattern, and it hits at a nice sort of slightly cropped waist. Excuse me, mister. I'm just really happy with it. It blocked out super nicely. There had been a little bit of like folding over where the sleeve is set in. You can see a little bit here, but once it was blocked, it's not a noticeable problem at all. And yeah, it's bright yellow, sunflower yellow. Makes me happy. The yarn is pilling a little bit. I don't have a yarn depiller, a sweater depiller. I need to get one of those. I have been wearing it pretty heavily, so honestly I'm not surprised, and I'm pretty happy with the amount of pilling. Like, I have a lot of sweaters that get a lot worse in this section a lot faster, where like that, because there's a lot of friction on your underarms. And you know, it's Cascade 220, it's not the most expensive yarn, but it's a pretty good workhorse. I'm overall extremely happy with this, very satisfied. I've been like scouring Facebook Marketplace to see if I could find more deals like that, but I'm really picky about colors. Like, I want bright colors, and so much of the stuff on Facebook Marketplace is like really boring colors or like really weird textures. So I don't know. I definitely don't think that can be my only source of yarn, as much as I would like it to be, and that will come up later. The next thing I have is I tried doing some crochet. There's this person who makes crochet hats and crochet hat patterns that are all like fairy sort of vibey, and there was a little clown hat, and so I tried to make it out of scrap yarn. It isn't right. I don't think I understand crochet gauge, because I'll put the photo up of what it's supposed to look like, but like it's supposed to be a lot floppier than this. I'll put it on my head, I guess. But like these, it's supposed to be kind of floppy, you know, like floppy in a cute way. But this is just, this makes me look like the evil villain from Power Rangers. You know what I mean? The Power Rangers lady. I don't know her name, but so it's pretty silly. You know, it's a silly hat to begin with, which I'm totally fine with. I'm ready to own it. I want a silly hat, but I do want a silly hat where the cones don't stick out like this. I want a silly hat where the cones kind of flop over and are a little bit more chill. So the gauge definitely isn't right. The pattern called for iron weight yarn, which I was confused about because I've used mostly thinner than iron weight here, but it's a lot tighter than it seems like it should be. I think maybe my crochet tension is really tight. I might have to go up a needle size or a hook size, sorry. Don't make fucking start this again. A hook size to get the right sort of floppiness. So I'm happy with the colors. This is all scrap. And sort of like, it's so full of cat hair. Hi Mitski. Hello baby bean. You can really see how big Mitski is compared to Stanley. I really like the sort of color palette that I always get whenever I do any sort of scrap project, because I think I always gravitate towards these sort of warm colors. Really like it. If I'm able to finish it and I'm able to patch up that scrappy shawl I have, it also has the same color vibe. So that would be pretty nice. So I'm going to try this again. I'm going to undo it. I'm going to unravel everything. And try again. I'm going to try again. So that was a bit of a fail. That's all right. Beyond that, I have one other thing that I was working on this month. And it's actually cheating because I started it last night. And we are now April 2nd. So I started it in April. But it doesn't matter, right? Because it's like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's going into the March edition. So, continuing the sort of like weird crochet clown clothing vibes. Oh, Mitski. You scared away your brother. I started making bright green crochet mesh flare pants. And I don't know if you've watched and remember from previous craft reports, I can't remember which one, but I talked already about having mesh flare pants. But these are gonna be more mesh. These are like big holes. Big holes. I did this in about 2 hours and I had to restart it a couple of times because I made the waistband too big, and then I forgot to size up my crochet hook. This is a crochet hook size 10 actually. The pattern calls for a size 9, but I only have a size 10, so I'm using a size 10. I don't think it fucking matters. And it was fast, so if I have to redo it. So we'll see how silly those look. Those are going to be ridiculous. Wearability of them, I'm not sure yet, but really I just wanted something to work on while I wait for an order of yarn that I placed this week to show up, and then I'm gonna go back into like serious knitting mode. In terms of new things and like supplies, as I just said, I did purchase some yarn, but it isn't here yet, so it's going to wait until April. But in terms of the yellow yarn, this is the yarn from my sweater. So this was a bag of 9 skeins, and I reckon I still have like 3 skeins, so I can do something with that. Simon wants a yellow hat. I might end up because I made him a green hat, a green beanie, and he really loves it. So I was thinking maybe we could make him like a rainbow of beanies, like one beanie of every color. So I might make him a yellow beanie with that, but I have a lot left over. It's not quite enough to make another sweater, so I'm not sure. And then, very exciting, my inspiration for starting this project was that I do watch a lot of like knitting podcasts, which I don't consider this a podcast because this is more just like for me. And I'm not necessarily, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. This is not a podcast. This is a vlog. This is a vlog for me. And other people can decide to use podcast versus vlog for their own YouTube channels as they wish. I like a vlog. But this is a little vlog. It takes the pressure off, I think. It's for me. It's not a product to be put out there. But, so I watch a lot of knitting podcasts. They're really nice to just have on in the background while I'm doing sort of easier, lightweight brain coding. And one of those is Lock Knits. And every once in a while she does like a little giveaway. And I actually won some yarn. I won some yarn. I can't remember the last time I like won a giveaway, so that was very exciting. This is Goosey Fibers, and it's like, ooh, it's really squishy and soft. It is super wash merino worsted weight, and the color is called Robot Prints. I'm not sure what that's a reference to. They do this company does do like different colors of yarn that are like in reference to culture. A lot of people are doing those these days, like books and TV shows and stuff. The amount of yarns that I see people dyeing that are like Taylor Swift yarns. Anyways, I'm a hater, but that's besides the point. So I won this from Haley. She definitely won't see this, but thank you. I was super excited to get it, and I think it's probably going to turn into like a hat or a pair of mittens. Because it's a single skein, and I looked and I can't get more of the color. It doesn't seem like they're carrying it right now. So I'll have to find a single skein project for this, but super nice. I really like this section where it's like the browns kind of get really murky. It gets really murky. So that's that. I have not done any more work on the crochet animals for all the babies. The hippo from last month is staring at me right over there. I still need to just sew in the ends of the jacket and then mail it off. God help me if I don't have that done by the end of April. I'm a fucking horrible person and a horrible cousin. And I do want to have Leia's mouse ready by the end of April, or at the very least started and, you know, having good progress. The problem is that, and I talked about this last month, but like I found that there's different qualities of yarn, and I really like the result of like the slightly thicker kind of fuzzy yarn. But the yarn I have for the mouse, like I can't just rip it up and start it again because it's not the right kind of yarn. It's not, it doesn't make as nice of a quality. But where I get that fuzzy yarn, I go to Omer des Serres and they have a little basket on the floor. They have like these big IKEA calyx shells where they keep all their yarn. And there's like a little basket literally on the floor with all their little amigurumi yarn skeins. And it's always a complete toss-up of what you're going to find in there, if you're going to find the right colors, if there's enough of the colors that you want. Usually I just go and I buy, you know, 4 of whatever color there actually is 4 or 5 of, so that I know I can do the body of an animal and not run out. So that's a little bit, it's not frustrating, but like I wish I knew where to source that kind of yarn. I don't know what you would call it. It's got almost like a minky, I think it might be called chenille. It's like it got kind of like a fuzzy, textury, I don't know. It's pretty big in amigurumi, but I just need to figure out what it is so that I can order it in the actual colors that I want. Yeah. And then yeah, so the last thing, and I'll talk about this more in April, but it's kind of a secret. Well, it's not a secret, but like, so I did talk about how I found some Canadian yarn dyers. One of them was Gremlin, and they had a shop update in March, and I've been really good. I've been waiting and waiting. I haven't bought any new yarn. I originally wanted to buy more yarn to do another sweater, and I had put it all in my cart, and I looked at it for like a week and was sitting in my cart, and then I got rid of it because I said I want to save all my money and I want to be able to buy yarn from Gremlin as much as I want, guilt-free. Let me tell you, I still have guilt. I have a lot of guilt because it's expensive, but I didn't have to pay like, because it's New Brunswick, I didn't really have to pay taxes. The shipping is free and I don't pay any crazy customs, which I was going to buy yarn from the Stephen and Penelope shop, which is in Europe. They have great colors, but they're in fucking Europe, right? So they're gonna ding me for an arm and a leg if I buy stuff from there. So I bought enough to make a cardigan and a dress. I'm going to try making a striped knitted dress. The colors, I am so excited about these colors. I cannot wait for them to get here. But yeah, Simon was saying I was only supposed to buy yarn from Facebook Marketplace, and at first I was like, yes, that's a good idea, and then I realized it's not realistic because I want to spend my time knitting things that I really love, and for that I need specific colors sometimes. I'm not always going to find what I want on Facebook Marketplace, and I did a good job. I saved up my budget, and I spent a couple $100 on yarn from Gremlin. And you can tell I'm guilty. I'm because Simon's gonna watch this and he's gonna be like, why did you do that? I'm gonna be like, listen, man, I have my budget shit together. There was a line in my budget for it. It's gonna be people don't need to watch this. People don't need to watch me arguing with myself. I don't regret it. I'm very, very excited. I'm very happy to be supporting a Canadian indie dyer who is making like weird shit that I love. Again, I got some yarn in the color Sepulcher. I'm so excited about it. So that's going to show up sometime this month, and then I will show you everything that I got and all the colors and the exact plans that I have. I've spent a good maybe like 5 or 6 hours already looking at patterns, trying to figure out exactly what cardigan pattern I want to make, because it's all fingering, so it's all going to be fairly lightweight. It's going to be, excuse me, it's going to be my summer knitting yarn. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. And Simon, if you see this, shut the fuck up. I love you, but shut up. I'm allowed to buy new things. I budgeted for it. Hey Mitski. So that's it for this month. So next month, my main goals are, honestly, if I don't redo this next month, it's fine. I'll redo it eventually, but like, spring is coming. I don't need a weird hat. But the stuffed animals are priority. This is probably not going to take me very long at all, so that's a little bit of priority. And taking my time to determine the exact perfect patterns for this expensive yarn that I got. And then once I get it, I want to take my time knitting it, right? I really kind of rushed through knitting this sweater, and I want to practice slowing down. And just, actually, I did slow down for this. I made some mistakes, and I maybe normally would have just powered through, but I didn't. I went back, I ripped it up, I fixed it, I made it perfect, and it really paid off. So more of that. Yeah. All right, so that's it. Thanks for listening to me ramble. Oh, Mitski, hello. I have to go back to work now. Mitski, I'm sorry. I have to go back to